In 1968, one small sailboat became the first of her kind to cross every ocean on the chart and circle the entire globe. You can buy that exact boat today, same design, same bones, for about $15,000. Less than a used car, for a boat that's already been around the world. The broker on the dock will walk you right past her to get to the expensive one. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why, and you'll never read a price tag the same way again. Stand on a dock in Newport on an October morning, the season winding down, and watch the brokers work. They walk a young couple past the big glossy production sloop. 3 cabins, a swim platform the size of a back patio, a price tag with 6 figures, and a financing plan to soften the blow. This, he says, is a go-anywhere boat. And the couple's eyes go to the deck, then to the number, then to the ground. Because the number is bigger than their savings, and they walk away believing the ocean belongs to other people. Richer people. That's the lie. That's the whole lie. The salesman sells headroom and volume and a brochure full of sunsets, and he prices the dream so high that the very people who'd actually use it never untie the lines. Here's the truth he'll never tell you. Some of the most ocean-proven sailboats ever built, boats that have rounded capes and crossed every ocean on the chart, sell today for the price of a used car. Not a project that might cross someday. Boats with the receipts, circumnavigations, transatlantics, names you can look up tonight. 6 of them, all real, all cheap. One of them breaks every rule I'm about to give you, and I'm going to defend it anyway, because it earned the right. Let's get into them. Start with why these bargains exist at all. The industry stopped building small and stout. A modern 30-footer is wide, tall, light, and aimed at a marina slip, not an ocean, and that's where the money and the marketing went. So the boats that were actually built to go, the heavy little full-keel cruisers from the 60s and 70s, got left behind on the cheap end of the brokerage. The market measures a boat by how many it sleeps and how much headroom you've got standing at the galley. The ocean measures it by something else entirely, the capsize number, the motion in a seaway, whether the cockpit drains before the next wave tops it up. By that measure, a lot of cheap old boats outclass the shiny new one the broker's steering you toward. There's even a book sailor's hand around, John Vigor's 20 Small Sailboats to Take You Anywhere. And half this list lives in its pages. So let's start small and cheap and work our way up. Number 6. Number 6, the Pearson Triton. 28 feet of 1950s Carl Alberg design, the boat that more or less invented the affordable fiberglass cruiser when she landed at the New York Boat Show in 1959. Pearson built 750 of them in Bristol, Rhode Island, just up the bay from where you're standing. Today, you'll find a saleable one from $5,000 to $17,000. $5,000. And before you laugh at the size of her, know this. A man named James Baldwin sailed his Triton Atom around the world, twice. She's a full-keel boat with a cockpit long enough to stretch out in and a bridge deck that keeps the sea out of the cabin when she's pooped. Her original engine is the old Universal Atomic 4, a gas engine, simple as a kitchen appliance, and plenty of owners have dropped in a small Yanmar diesel instead, which is money well spent. One honest warning. That pretty fractional rig was lightly stayed from the factory, and before you point her at open water, you reinforce it. Do that, and a $7,000 boat will carry you to Bermuda and well past it. Number 5 was built half a world away, and there are more of them at sea than almost any boat her size. Number 5, the Albin Vega 27. Swedish, designed by Per Brohall, and built in numbers that tell you everything you need to know. Somewhere around 3,450 of them came out of the yard, which makes her one of the most produced cruising keelboats of her whole era. There's a reason they sold that many. The Vega is a tough, honest, long-keeled little ship that points well, looks after a tired crew, and shrugs off weather that has no business bothering a 27-footer. Several have circumnavigated. She's in Vigor's book too. Prices run about $10,000 to $18,000, and a lot of them came with a little Volvo diesel, the MD6 or the MD7, though plenty wear a fresh Beta by now. What you're really buying is forgiveness. The Vega forgives a green crew, a late reef, an ugly night at sea. She stays steady and sane when a wider, flatter boat would be pitching you across the cabin. For the price of a used compact, she's about as much ocean ability as anyone's ever packed into 27 feet. Number 4 didn't just cross an ocean. She crossed all of them, and she did it first. Number 4, the Allied Seawind 30, and if you've been waiting since the first line of this video to find out which boat went around the world for the price of a used car, here she is. In 1968, a Seawind named Apogee became the first fiberglass sailboat ever to circle the globe. The boat that proved plastic could go where everyone swore only wood and steel belonged. She's a full keel ketch, drawn by Thomas Gilmer, built up in Catskill, New York, and she sells today for $10,000 to $25,000. Hold on to Gilmer's name, he's going to walk back on stage before we're done. The Seawind is not fast. Her hull speed is under 7 knots and you will not hurry her. One fellow who single-handed one down the coast came onto the forums saying he was flat wrung out after 14 hours at the tiller for not many miles made good. But slow is not the same as weak. This is a boat that crosses oceans at her own unbothered pace and brings you home. A ketch you can balance under short canvas and leave to mind herself for hours while you rest. She's the proof, cast in fiberglass, that the dream went mainstream, and you can own that proof for the price of a decent used motorcycle. Now, number 3 breaks every rule I've just been selling you, and I'm going to plant my feet and defend it. Number 3, the Cal 40. Everything I've praised so far, heavy, full-keeled, slow and steady and salty, the Cal 40 throws straight over the side. She's light. She's got a stubby fin keel and a rudder hung well aft on a skeg, the exact opposite of the traditional boats sailors swear by for blue water. By the old rule book, she has no business out there. Here's the thing. She rewrote the rule book. Bill Lapworth drew her in 1963, and Cal 40s went out and won the Transpac 3 years running, took the Bermuda race, and dominated ocean racing so thoroughly that nearly every fast offshore boat built since has copied her fin keel and spade rudder. She'll surf down a big ocean swell at a pace the Seawind can only dream about, and she'll do it for $30,000 to $70,000, more than the others here, still a sliver of new. One of the finest navigators alive, Stan Honey, cruised and raced his Cal 40 for 30 years. Think about that. So the next time somebody tells you a boat needs a full keel and a barn door rudder to cross an ocean, point them at the Cal 40 and the decades of records stacked behind her. The old rules are a fine place to start. They are not the whole truth. That's the fairness I owe you, and it's exactly why I'll never tell you there's only one shape of ocean boat. If a straight answer about what these boats really are and really cost is worth something to you, here's the cheap part of the whole deal. Tap the like button, then hit subscribe. I put a couple of these out every week, breaking down the boats the brokers would rather you walked past, and the next one's already on its way. Number 2, the Contessa 26. This is the one from the top of the video. In 1985, an 18-year-old named Tanya Abe cast off from New York on a 26-foot Contessa called Varuna and sailed her alone around the world. No GPS. Just a sextant and a radio direction finder, a teenager and a pocket cruiser against every ocean there is. She made it. Her book, Maiden Voyage, sent a whole generation hunting for the same boat. And a few years on, a 19-year-old named Brian Caldwell did it too, on the very same design, 26 feet. The Contessa came off David Sadler's drawing board by way of the folk boat, built in England by Jeremy Rogers and in Canada by J.J. Taylor, and the British hulls are solid fiberglass, no core to rot, which on a 50-year-old boat is a quiet gift. Today they run $7,500 to $25,000. She's narrow, she's snug, 5'8" of headroom, and a cockpit that throws spray. And not one bit of that stopped two teenagers from circling the planet in one. So if you ever catch yourself thinking you need more boat, picture Varuna out there in the trades. You almost certainly need less. Which brings us to number 1, and to that name I told you to hold on to. Number 1, the Southern Cross 31. Remember Tom Gilmer, who drew the Allied Sea Wind at number 4, the first fiberglass boat around the world? This is his hand again, a few years on, and you can read it in her lines. A canoe-stern double-ender straight out of the Colin Archer tradition, full keel, transom-hung rudder, a proper little cutter with a bowsprit poking out front. C.E. Ryder built about 130 of them in Bristol, Rhode Island between 1975 and 1987, and a clean one today runs $15,000 to $40,000, with tired projects going for less than the price of a good outboard. Why is she number 1? Because of all 6, she's the one a couple can actually move aboard and go, real headroom, a real galley, tankage for distance, a Yanmar 3GM tucked under the cockpit, without ever leaving the cheap end of the market. Her capsize number sits well under the offshore danger line. Her motion in a seaway is that easy, predictable roll of a hull that was drawn to live out there. She's no rocket, the rig is modest, and she wants a real breeze to stretch her legs, but a couple sailed one clear around the world, taking their sweet years over it, and that is precisely the point. She isn't the boat that wins the sprint to the horizon. She's the boat that's still solid underneath you, steady and dry, long after you've reached it. For less than the down payment on the salesman's plastic palace. So what would I buy with my own money off this list? Depends entirely on the dream. If I were young and single and itching to leave on the next tide, with more time than money, I'd find a sorted Contessa 26, bolt on a good wind vane, and point the bow south, crossing oceans for what some folks drop on a car stereo. If it were me and my wife, planning to live aboard and take whole years over it, I'd track down the best Southern Cross 31 on the coast, the one some careful owner already re-rigged and repowered, and I'd buy his labor for pennies on his dollar. And if I had the racer's itch, if I wanted the ocean to feel fast under me, I'd take the Cal 40 without a second thought and let her surf me all the way to Hawaii. 6 boats, 6 different ways to the same horizon, and not one of them priced out of reach. Because that's the part the salesman has every reason to bury. The ocean was never locked behind a 6-figure boat. It's locked behind one thing only, knowing which old boat was built to go and which shiny new one was built to sell. Get that one thing right, and the cheapest hull in the marina can be the one that carries you furthest of all. Don't let anybody talk you into believing the dream costs more than you've got. The right little ship is out there right now, waiting at a dock for the price of a used car, ready to take you a great deal further than the broker ever thought you could afford to go. Next time, I'm flipping it over. The boats that look like they belong out there, the salty profile, the ocean-ready price, that have no business crossing anything deeper than a bay. You'll want to know their names before you fall for one.